Showtime. 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 To check out the stat by your girl Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby. Y'all, it seems like there's a lot going on in the world as of lately, so we're going to talk about it. But before we get started, I got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Underdog. With Underdog, you can earn money by making picks on all of your favorite players. You can try the app in California, Texas, and Missouri, and the list goes on. If you want to play along, go download Underdog, use code STAT, S-T-A-T, to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits, and you'll get a free pick. So make sure y'all sign up on the Underdog app today. Hey y'all, so I'm out of town and y'all know Titletown is on the move, so we're gonna do my Underdog picks off location. So tonight the Bulls are playing the Lakers. Underdog has Luka at 29.5 points. Fun fact, Luka was actually out for the past game that he had with the sprained ankle. Will he play this game? I don't know. So for Luka, I'm gonna go lower because I don't know. We don't know if he's gonna play versus the Bulls. Then they got Austin Reeves, he's at 20.5 points. Another fun fact, he was out in the last game with an ankle injury as well. So will Austin Reeves play? I don't know. But I do think that this specific game, he will play. And if he does play, I think he's going to have more than 20.5 points. Then lastly, we got Mr. Josh Giddey. Underdog has him at 34.5 points. He has been balling. But surprise, Josh Giddey was out in the past game as well with a right ankle sprain. Will he play in this game? I hope so. They need somebody to put up some points. So if he does play, I'm going to put him at higher. So if y'all haven't, make sure y'all download that Underdog app today. It's real easy. So now we're going to talk about football. We see everyone making all these off-season moves. Some are great, some are bad, some are stagnant. But y'all know we got to talk about the Steelers. Because with all these things going on, great, we signed DK Metcalf. Why do we not have a quarterback? So of course, I'm going to talk about this with none other than Poppa Stat. Hey, Dad.
Hey, what's going on?
First of all, how are you feeling? The people have missed you. They've been asking if you are okay with all these things going on. So any updates, what you've been doing? How's life been?
Life's been great. Me and your mom just been traveling. We just did the Mardi Gras in Mobile, Alabama. From what I hear, it was the original place of the Mardi Gras. Went down there, had a great time. Just been hanging out, doing a lot of traveling.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I love to see y'all happy because honestly, y'all look like y'all are living y'all's best lives. Me and Jada, and for those who don't know, Jada's my younger sister. We done left the crib. My parents been outside. Like they're on a plane every other weekend. I see y'all dancing. I haven't even been to Mardi Gras yet. So the fact that y'all went to the OG one in Bama is tough. So I'm glad y'all are having a good time. Love seeing the videos. If you guys are not following my dad on Instagram, make sure y'all follow him at Poppa Stat. It's real easy. You can find him to stay up to date with all the things that he's doing because truly he's living his best life. But who really doesn't know if they're living their best life yet right now is the Steelers. So Dad, I had to bring you on because we got to talk. We still do not.
Sure.
We have a quarterback. We don't have a quarterback. So as far as quarterback moves, the Steelers have signed Mason Rudolph to a 2-year contract, okay? traded him away. They sent him to the Titans, which is funny because that's one of the games that we saw, Titans versus Jags in Jacksonville. Mason Rudolph was playing. I didn't even realize that's where he was changed to. We were like, dang, now he over here. Now the Steelers have brought him back. But aside from Mason Rudolph, there's a lot of speculation going on. So we're going to kind of go through it. But before we go down to the other players, if you had a choice, is Mason Rudolph the Steelers QB?
No, he's not he's not our quarterback. That's really, they really reaching right now. I mean, that's the best they can actually do. If you think about it, they gave up on Russell Wilson. They waiting around hoping and praying that Aaron Rodgers come over to our team, but Father Time, man, Father Time is undefeated. Aaron Rodgers old.
Facts.
I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, he's old.
Facts.
I think we messed it up. We should have really got us a quarterback last year.
Yeah.
But I trust the process, and I think what's going to happen, I hope what's going to happen is that they're going to grab somebody in the draft.
The draft. We'll get to that in a second. So when I be calling Aaron Rodgers older, everybody be looking at me crazy. In football years, and Mike Evans said it himself when I interviewed him at the Pro Bowl, I asked him what age was UNC status. He said he's considered UNC status. He's younger than Aaron Rodgers. He's talking about UNC status is like 28 and above. Aaron Rodgers fits the description, and that's not for me. That's for Mike Evans. Not specifically talking about Aaron Rodgers, but y'all get the picture. Yeah. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is bad. We know that he is great. He's one of the best quarterbacks as a whole. But for our team and our system, I do not think Aaron Rodgers is a good choice. Down to his play within the past year, down to his attitude about the game, I just don't think it makes sense. Now, on the opposite end, looking at Russell Wilson, it's like, at least with Russell Wilson, I know what we're getting, okay? We had a pretty good season with him, even though I still feel like Justin Fields was a great quarterback. Trading him to the Jets, I felt some type of way because I feel like that's our gift to them. Why did we give them that gift? I don't know. I know we had to make a choice, but I didn't think that that was the choice that we were going to make. So in my opinion, I still feel like Russell Wilson is the best option because at this point, I'd rather take Russ over a rookie quarterback. We trusted the process with the rookie quarterback. Shout out Kenny Pickett. He tried his best. It wasn't exactly what we needed. I think that we would be putting ourselves into another hole to start off with a rookie quarterback. And then if it doesn't go well, I think we've exhausted so many options where the fingers start getting pointed back to Mike T. I'm one of the Steelers fans. I don't want to get rid of Mike Tomlin. Dad, I know you had some opinions, which I'll let you get to that in a second. I don't want to get rid of Mike T. I think he's a good coach. I think that's the Steelers culture. We stick with what we know. Changes are supposed to be made. Adjustments are supposed to be made. I think we have built a winning culture with Mike T. Now, some may say, okay, y'all haven't won since 2008. What are we doing? I get it. I understand. I do think we have a foundation that puts us right there. We just need to get over that hump. And I think by starting over with a new quarterback, unless we draft a Jaden Daniels, I don't think that's the situation that we're going to be putting ourselves in. So looking at the draft, Steelers as of right now have the 21st overall pick. They've had meetings with Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe. You know, again, he's good, but is he great? We won't know until we put him in our system, and I just don't think we have time for all the trial and error right now. So, Dad, what are your thoughts? Do you want a rookie quarterback, or would you want somebody like a Russ?
Well, I think we have to get a rookie quarterback because Russ is not going to play forever.
Yeah.
Like I said, Father Time is, I mean, it coming down to him as well. And I think Pittsburgh made, well, I mean, I can't say they made a mistake because you really don't know what you see. That transition from college to pros is hard for a lot of quarterbacks now. Some of them make that transition over to the pros, and a lot don't. I mean, you think about Purdy was in the same draft class as Kenny Pickett. Purdy was what? He went what? Later rounds?
Yeah.
And did great.
Dead
Kenny
last.
Pickett. Kenny Pickett, we could have got him third or fourth round. I mean, I think he was like an overdraft for us. And if you think about it, once we let him go, he's been with three different teams for 3 different years. So he didn't pan out the way he should have panned out. I think Russell Wilson last year, Russell Wilson and when Justin Fields started off, he did great. Russell Wilson came in and relieved him. He did good. Then the last 5 games of the year, he just tanked. I think they should have kept Justin Fields, but I don't know what they was thinking. I don't know what Mike T was thinking.
Yeah. Because
I've been a Steelers fan since the 70s.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely. I bought into the team. I've been with this team for over 50 years. And right now, we looking bad. We looking. We looking bad. But one thing that I know, it doesn't matter who's behind center. We always have a great year. We always have a great year because we have other players there that play very, very well that help out. Now, the other day when I first heard, oh, Pittsburgh got a quarterback, they signed someone. I ran to the TV and they said Mason Rudolph. I was like, come on, man. What are they thinking? But then I thought about it. Mason Rudolph last year that he was with the Steelers, he actually played well.
He did play well.
Yeah, he did play. He did play well. I mean, he's not one of those type of quarterbacks that you're going to constantly, looking for his stats and stuff. But he knows how to manage the game.
Yeah,
and he does have an arm.
Yeah,
but besides that, it's going to be a rough year.
Yeah, I mean, if all goes well, maybe Mason Rudolph is a blessing in disguise because when he did play, he was doing well. And that's why people were saying start Mason Rudolph over Kenny Pickett. I get it. But also seeing how he played with the Titans, it was like, oof. You have sparks.
Garbage.
And then you have bad games. And it's just Mason Rudolph's already not a flashy player. So it's like, what are we really expecting from him? I think the main thing between Justin Fields and Russ is like, it was a 10-year difference. Russ is 36, Justin Fields is 26. We had a lot more to build off of with him. I feel like drafting a rookie quarterback, we're starting from square one. At that point, I'd rather us look for different tools. Yeah. But we're digging a deeper hole for ourselves, and I only think it's putting us in a bad situation. So as of right now, my choice would not to be draft a rookie quarterback. I'm still going with Russ. I'm completely off the Aaron Rodgers train. And I'm just hoping that we make the best decisions moving forward, because if not, Mike T.
Oh, we in trouble.
Will be on the chopping block.
He on the chopping block, and I'm gonna help hold him down on the chopping block. I'm gonna hold him down.
Dang! It's never like that. It's never like that.
It's a serious matter. It's a serious matter. That's how we. That's how we do. And all my partners that are Steelers fans, that's how we feel.
My partners? What you know about partners?
Those are my partners.
Partner them.
That's old school.
What you know, partner them. In the comments down below, let us know who you guys think the Steelers should choose as quarterback. Dad, I know you aren't privy to NBA, so I'm going to talk about my choice between the MVPs, but I appreciate you joining the show. Thanks for being here. Like I said, everybody missed you.
Miss everybody.
Okay, we'll see you another episode, and if not, you'll see him on Instagram. Okay, so real quick before we go to break, y'all, let's talk about this MVP race, because is the MVP race really a tight race? Let's compare. So it's coming down to two players. Let's just keep it a buck. SGA or Jokic. SGA is having a historic season. He's leading the league in 50-point games, 40-point games, 30-point games, and 20-point games with overall scoring at 33 points per game. That's crazy, okay? I call him the new hotness because he is that guy. He went to Boston and still beat the Celtics, the defending champs. He's doing his thing. And let's not forget the team, OKC, is first in the West, okay? Well-deserved. He's doing his thing. He's leading that team. But when we look on the other end, Mr. Jokic, right? We know he has 3 MVPs. The question is, should he get a 4th? Should we really be talking about him having a 4th MVP? And honestly, I didn't know how I felt. I was going back and forth. I think the answer is yes. So recently, Jokic had a quote, which is like a pretty casual quote. He said, I will say that I think I'm playing the best basketball of my life. So if that's enough, that's enough. If not, the guy, speaking of SGA, deserves it. That's very humble. A very humble quote coming from Jokic, talking about he's playing the best basketball of his life, which is crazy because we see him beat his own numbers each season. He's the first ever person in the world, not just the NBA, in the world, in the NBA, in the league, to post a 30, 20, and 20 game in NBA history. That is stamped. That has never been done before. Please tell me who's doing that at age 30. And please tell me who's doing that at 6'11". Who's doing that? Because I don't know. So then I go down looking at the stats. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Yes, SGA is the season leader for points per game. He's number 1, but Jokic is 3rd. SGA is at 33. Jokic is at 29. Rebounds per game. Jokic is 3rd. SGA is not on that list. That's not to say SGA is not doing a phenomenal job, because he is, but Jokic is 3rd. Okay. Then we got him at 4th for steals per game. Yes, Dyson Daniels at 1st, and he has a case for Defensive Player of the Year. We didn't discuss that later on the show. Dyson Daniels is up there, but I just don't think people are really falling into that yet. But Jokic is leading in almost every category, top 5. Top 5. Okay. Yes, SGA is having a historic season. Yes, he's balling his ass off. Yes, he's doing his thing. But when I compare side by side, I think Jokic has to get it. Now, here's the thing. Everybody's saying, why can't there be co-MVPs? They're both having a phenomenal season. I hear y'all. I get that. To me, it sounds like a cop-out answer. I don't think that there should be co-MVPs. If you ever feel like somebody has been robbed in the past, which there's been a couple of those instances, there wasn't a co-MVP decision then, so we don't need to have a co-MVP decision now. And I'm all for change. Y'all know the new generation, I'm all for change. Not in this situation. I think one person deserves it. And I think right now, as of today, my answer would be Jokic. Now there's a whole conversation and dialogue about voter fatigue, basically saying, we don't want to give it to the same person. When do we ever be like, you know what, this person is over deserving, he's got it too many times, I'm not feeling like it, I don't want to give him MVP. That's silly. I don't really think voter fatigue is a real thing. I know everybody's saying it's a real thing. I don't agree. I feel like you're going to vote for the man who you feel like is the best, whether that be SGA or Jokic. And if I was a voter right now, I'm putting my vote in the hat and I'm saying Jokic. Let me know in the comments who y'all think should be MVP. And maybe y'all will be right. So we're going to go to break. Is Doechii an industry plant? Some say yes, some say no. I'm going to give y'all my thoughts with a special guest. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So I told y'all I got some things to discuss. So today I'm joined with my friend, Kiana Nicole. Kiana, welcome to the show. Welcome to Check Out the Stat. How you feeling? How you doing?
Thanks for checking me out. I love being on the show with my girl.
They love you too. We love you too. So,
ooh, kisses, love. Kisses.
Okay, so we have a lot to talk about because my head hurts. I'm frustrated and I'm irked. I'm not going to lie. I'm irked. So there's a young girl, a young Black girl to be exact, taking over the music industry right now. And she goes by the name of Doechii. Kiana, have you heard of Doechii?
I love me some Doechii.
Okay, so for those who are watching who don't know, Doechii won the Grammy Award for the best rap album. She is one of 3 women to ever win the award, joining Lauryn Hill and Cardi B. She had 3 Grammy nominations. She was the 2023 Rising Star and 2025 Woman of the Year award for Billboard Women in Music. So she's just on a upward hill, skyrocketing to the top. She's at the top and she is just outbeating herself every day. And I love that for her. Now, of course, when somebody's doing so well and somebody's so successful, it seems their success threatens others. So, given all of that, right now, people are questioning Doechii and who she is, and she is being called an industry plant. Do you know what an industry plant is?
Is that when people think that the industry planted you there just for something to talk about?
Yes. So everybody's saying, oh, like she came out of nowhere and like, how does she have this crazy success? Like, it's so wild. Like, wow, like that doesn't make any sense to me. They also called, the Bobby girl. She used to do the podcast. The Really Good Podcast. And she had this interview with Drake that blew up and everybody was like, Bobby's an industry plant because why do you have this interview with Drake? Same type of concept. They're trying to say that for Doechii. So another entertainer enters the chat. She goes by the name of Ice Spice. Now I'm going to say this is alleged because obviously Ice Spice would not confirm these texts are from her, but there was some conversation basically talking about Doechii, and allegedly Ice Spice says, Doechii will be like, I'm dark skinned, so I always have to work harder than everyone. Some girl on Twitter stooped so low, so I went to hell. Then they were talking about hating her music and her song. And then Ice Spice, alleged, says, let's not act like she's not one of the chosen dark skins because she does benefit from pretty privilege still and for being skinny. So my first question to you before we go into a deeper dialogue is, how do you feel about those alleged texts? And do you feel like Doechii is an industry plant?
I mean, I think I've always grappled with the term industry plant because what they say is that it takes 10 years to be an overnight success, essentially. So just because I'm new for you doesn't mean I wasn't grinding in the background for years on end to get to this point. And what I appreciate about Ms. Doechii is that she's been documenting her journey and she has vlogs, she has the videos where she's saying, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm not certain, but I'm betting on myself. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And she's documented every step. And even her interviews, like you could see her growth where she's like, I'm trying to do this, but I don't think I'm being understood. And like, she's just always been vocal in documenting everything. So those that saying she's a plant aren't really making sense because she actually documented her journey.
Yeah. Even if she didn't document her journey, I feel like Doechii does work so hard, and in comparison to people in the industry, she literally does work 10 times harder. We know she writes her own music, and not only is she writing her own music, she has stage presence, she has different looks, she's being theatrical, she's telling stories. That's something that a lot of people haven't even mastered in this day and age. Like, and no shade to other people.
Say it.
But like,
say it.
You talk about shaking ass in a deli. Like, what?
You think you're the fart?
What?
Like, baby.
But like, oh, like Doechii's undeserving and she's an industry plant and it's so crazy that she's blown up. Like, no, she's doing things that I have quite literally not seen, right? Mm-hmm. And then just to throw this in there, shout out 813, Doechii's from Tampa. Doechii is older than me, so I've never met Miss Ma'am, but she did go to Blake High School. That is not far from where I grew up, and Blake was known as the performing arts school, and you had to be very talented to be accepted into that school. Same way, like you guys know when you hear IMG, you know, like you got to be badass at basketball or football to get accepted to that school. Blake was the same thing, homegrown Tampa zone. So shout out to Doechii because she went to that school. This is something that, you know, you guys are seeing the outcome, but this is something that she has worked towards for years and years and years. That's something that even I can relate to, right? Because people see me in this role, in this position, and think like, how does she da-da-da-da-da-da? But people quite literally do not know how much you work in the background to get where you are. And like I said, even if Doechii didn't document it, the proof is in the pudding. Okay, she puts on a performance and you can tell this is something that's never done before. Similar to my career. You know, a lot of my stuff actually has been documented. A lot of it is private on YouTube because I was a young little girl. I was going up and interviewing people from middle school and high school on my own. Didn't have mic, didn't have the equipment. I would take my iPhone and record and literally do my public interviews, go back home, edit it on my iPad because I didn't have the Mac software, didn't have the money for Premiere Pro. I was doing it on iMovie and basically transferring stuff from software that I didn't have to get it on my iPad to post up on YouTube, vlogging everything, recording everything, been doing it from scratch. Even if I didn't go to school from it, your passion shows as a child. And that's kind of how you figure out if you're living in your purpose or your truth as you see if you're putting your time towards things that you've grown up doing. So to Doechii's point, she's been doing this. She's not new to this. She's true to this. And the industry plant term pisses me off because it's just a way to downplay her greatness because of other people's insecurities. So, Kiana, I don't know if you can kind of attest to that because I know there's some things that you've been doing all your life that, you know, is true to your heart. Can you imagine if one day somebody told you like, oh, you don't deserve that. You haven't been doing that. Woo, woo, woo. How would you feel about something like that coming towards you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you made a great point saying that your passions manifest as a kid because I have a similar story to you, but just in acting and theater. And like, I've been a theater kid since I could talk. I've had a YouTube channel since I could talk, doing skits and acting and writing and all the things that I love doing now. So I just feel as if it undercuts anybody's credibility to call them an industry plant. I can't even name people who are legitimate industry plants if they exist. And like, how do you kind of prove that? Because I think they were trying to call Thailand an industry plant too at one point. And
yeah.
Like, who are these talented plants that they're just picking up? Like if I'm going to plant something, how do I know it's going to be that good to just boom, break the industry? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that term. I don't get who gets into that, how you scout one and how that works. But I do feel as though, like you said, it's just a way to undercut people's talents and, their achievements, and it's really unfair. And Miss Ice Spice, honey, sweetie.
Alleged.
Well, allegedly, you need to be quiet. That's all I'm saying.
And then real quick with the Tyler thing. Yeah. So the whole narrative was like, we haven't had a Rihanna in a while. Rihanna won't make music. Where can we formulate and find somebody from the ground up to make her this star? And it's like, don't get me wrong. A good team is needed. Okay. And a good team should be pushing your music for the world to see. I don't think that's a crazy concept. A good team, if they believe in you and your talents and you believe in yourself, your content should be getting pushed. Not in no illegal way. That's like, oh, let me like put my streams up to like, we're not talking about that. Like you should be going on tours. You should be doing your interview sessions. You should be showing your music to people. There's an old clip that's going viral right now. It's not funny because she was singing her heart out. It's an old clip of Pia Mia at a dinner table with Drake, Ye, Kylie Jenner, and the Kardashians singing her heart out because she was trying to get her deal. And hey, look, everybody got to be able to show their music and show their passion to others. So when the main stage comes, they're ready. So she was singing for that deal. Now, Ye was laughing at her, probably because, you know, there is a place and a time. But again, if you believe in yourself and your team believes in you, everything you do should be getting pushed. So I don't like it. Stop trying to call her an industry plant because she's deserved everything that's coming to her. It's only up from here. And then the whole working 10 times harder, as you guys have seen, there are some people, and I'm not going to call them talentless because who am I to judge? But there are some people who don't do nearly as much as Shawty does. She is literally the jack of all trades, proving herself every single day. And I know it's got to be emotional for her to be able to step foot outside the States and her to basically get that same love that she's gotten from her hometown. So I'm rooting for Doechii. I'm happy for her. And I'm excited to see how her journey progresses. So also speaking of Doechii, before we wrap, Shawty did go viral for something else other than her music. She had an interview and they were basically asking her, you know, what her red flags were. Doechii then responded, a straight man is her red flag. Okay. The internet did not like that. Now my question to you, Kiana, what do you think about that? Is a straight man a red flag? Why or why not?
I think she's funny. I think she's funny, and the internet stay mad. The internet stay mad. Y'all can't take a joke. Like, I get it.
Explain, do
Straight
tell.
man in this economy is spooky. It is very, very spooky. And I don't think she was. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the clip. I don't know if she was being dead serious. But when I read it, I'm like, hee, like she has a point, hee, and then I move on.
Nah, she very much said, strike one, you're a man, and you're heterosexual. Next. Like, that type of thing. And then her friend was like, oh, what about bad music taste? She's like, oh, yeah, that too. But nah, a straight male? Mm-mm. So, joke or not, Kiana Dorsey is a straight male a red flag? Yes or no?
It's hard for me to say because I like straight men. I am a part of the straight community, therefore they're my only option, yes? But if I wasn't, and even as a part of that community, I do grapple with that species. I do grapple with that species. They lack and they struggle in various areas. And I feel as if, you know, in the social media age, and considering who our president is, I think Doechii has a leg to stand on, being afraid of the straight man. If you're mad, stay mad. You're probably a straight man. And also, who cares? Like, she's saying her opinion. It's cute. It's fun. Keep swiping. Like, why is this even a topic of discussion?
So that's the thing. The internet will stay mad. And once the internet makes up the internet, bruh. Once the internet makes an opinion about you, they run with it. If the internet says you're fine, you're fine. If the internet says you're thick, you're thick. If the internet says you're an instigator, you're an instigator. It don't matter what the internet says. They take it and not. It don't matter what the internet says. If they say it, they take it and they run with it, and it should never be that deep. Now, coming from her point of view, I interpret it as like, okay, I like straight men, so like technically you're a red flag because every time I run into y'all, it just doesn't go right. And this is me speaking for Gen Z before whoever else, Gen X, millennials, whatever, get mad. It's just like, sometimes we don't have the best stories, the best situations. So it's like, dang. Of course, the culprit is a straight male because that's always why I get mad. But that doesn't mean I'm straying away from y'all. I'm going to just be mad and I'm going to just have to find the one that don't make me mad. And that's that. But yeah, I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was that deep. She didn't even get real technical. She just said straight male. Like, man, if the shoe fits and you mad that you straight man.
Point by getting upset.
If you straight man and you mad that you straight man, I don't know what to tell you. But like, at the end of the day, straight man, we love you. And it's okay because somebody's trash is another man's treasure. But before we wrap,
great punch.
See, there we go. But before we wrap, I got to ask you, what's your red flag?
My red flag for me personally, or like my red flag in other people?
In other people.
I hate chewing with your mouth open.
Okay. I meant looking for like a partner, but that works too.
Oh, you went deeper. Okay. I think my red flag in other people is a liar or inconsistency, like where you say you're going to do something and then you don't follow through, or you're wishy-washy with it. I can't stand that because nobody's telling you to over guarantee. I'd rather you say up front, I don't know. And then, if you don't know, you don't know, cool. But don't say, oh yeah, I'm a duh. And you can't even duh.
Yeah. So basically be of your word. I respect that. Because it's also not hard to communicate very simple things. But some people have issues with that. So, it happens. It shouldn't happen that often, though.
Treasure, what are your red flags, beloved?
I think my first red flag, we're being so honest. My biggest red flag is if a man start calling me big money. Leave me and my pockets alone. Why are you trying to search my net worth? Why are you in my pockets? Why are you asking me how much I get paid for certain events? Why are you asking me how can I afford to go places? Leave me alone. Get your money up before you worry about mine, because that's the first way to irk me, because why are you in my pockets? Why are you in my pockets? I don't like that. So yes, because to me it feels like, oh, big money, you're the one with all the money, da-da-da. Like, you're masking insecurities on me that I don't want to deal with. I don't like that. Okay, I don't like that. I'm not asking you about your pockets, so you mind yours and let me mind mine. That's all. That's all. Don't call me big money.
I asked you.
Don't call me.
I didn't even ask about your pockets. You told me that.
Don't call me Big T. Don't call me treasure chest. Don't call me big money pockets times 2 deluxe. I don't want to hear none of it.
Big money say.
Don't call me none of that. I don't like it. I do not like it. Because then it makes me feel weird. And then you're asking me follow-up questions. How much you get paid for this? No. Next. Exit. Stage left. Right now. Immediately. That's my big red flag. There's probably more. I'm just blanking right now because that rant.
What's your
took
second
a lot
red?
out of me. My second red flag. I can think on that. Off the top of my head, it's not.
Wow.
It's not computing.
Big money is the biggest.
Yeah, don't call me big money. That's aggravating. That's bad aggravating. Another one, I guess, is like, if you're like, y'all, I'm really blanking. I don't know.
Unfaithful, a cheater, a scammer.
I mean, that sucks too, but like, I'm thinking of like what really irks my skin. Some things, not cheating.
You sound crazy.
Not cheating. Some things, the bar is here. The bar is here. Some things I can look past, but don't call me big money. That's all I know. Don't call me big money. I'm not doing it. I'm not. And then I guess like not taking initiative. That's another thing. Like, I can take initiative. That's not a problem, but don't be waiting on me to make that like move all the time. Like, this should be a 2-person thing. Like, figure some things out, have some sort of base to work off of. You just got to take initiative. Those are like 2 big red flags. Not taking initiative and call me big money. But big money's really up there. Don't do that.
We know. You're not that big money.
That is all. Well, Kiana, it was a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Y'all, that's it for today's episode. Y'all can hashtag check out the stats so we can continue the discussion next week, and maybe a question you have or a take will be featured. Thanks for hanging out with me and checking out the stats. I'll see y'all next week.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.